And we're live. So hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For those new here, my name's Nikki. I'm an author and editor, and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading, and all the other things I love. So without any further ado, I will cut the sound on my video that was just starting to play in the background. Sorry about that. And we will get on with today's video, which is of course my end of the month wrap up of films and TV that I've been watching. I was actually going to film this yesterday, but I had a headache all day. Plus, I was about to finish watching a series on Netflix, and I knew I would finish it yesterday night, so I decided to bump this to tomorrow. It's only going to be a fairly short one, so I've only got a couple of things to talk about, but it meant I could include that one as well. So, what have I been watching? I've actually had a really busy month for a lot of other reasons. I've started some new work. I've had a lot of things going on. And as such, there's been a few films that I wanted to see in the cinema I didn't get to. And I've just been busy in the evenings and bits and pieces doing a lot of other stuff as well. So I haven't watched a huge amount. So I'll start off with the cinema. I've been twice to the cinema in July. Both films I saw on the same day. I did a double bill, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I spent all day at Palace Nova in Adelaide. And one of the films I saw was Spiderman, Far From Home, of course. You know me, I'm never going to miss a Marvel movie. So I did want to tell you about that. And I want to say that, first off, I actually enjoyed the film. It's not my absolute favourite Marvel movie, but I haven't seen a Marvel movie that I haven't liked, an MCU one. They're all good. It just depends which ones end up in my favourites pile and which ones don't. And I'm just reminding myself in my bullet journal here, what I gave this one. It was 4.5. Yeah, I thought it was. So 4.5 stars from me. It was entertaining. There's plenty of action. The fight sequences, special effects look great, and loads of humour. I think it was very much in a similar vein to Spider-Man Homecoming. A bit of a continuation of the same style, really. I think Tom Holland does a great job as Spider-Man, as Peter Parker. I like Jake Gyllenhaal in this one as the villain. Nick Fury had a few good moments. So all in all, it was a very enjoyable addition. And it kind of leads us now into what's going to become Phase 4, which I'm totally excited about, having seen some of the announcements coming out of Comic-Con about the films and TV series they're going to be doing. So I really can't wait to watch some of those and talk to you about them next year and onwards. The other film I saw on that day was a completely different piece. You know, we're going from Marvel superheroes to a German drama that lasted over 3 hours. So it's very, very different. And this one was called Never Look Away. That's the English translation of the title anyway. I can't actually recall what the German title is at the moment, but basically it was nothing like Never Look Away. It's completely different. So I don't know why they translated it that way, but who knows. Anyway, it's a film about a boy who grows up during the Nazi regime, sees his sister, his aunt, taken away and put in a concentration camp because they decide that she's schizophrenic. And as he grows up, he wants to become an artist, and he ends up painting the sort of social realism of the communist era. But it's not really what he wants to do. It's not his passion, and eventually he ends up escaping to the West and struggles for a while before eventually finding his proper voice, his own style. This is actually based on the life of a real painter, I believe. So there's an element of biopic about it, but they have, I believe, changed a few bits here and there. Although this was a film that lasted over 3 hours, I actually never sat there thinking, oh my God, it's so long, how much longer is left or anything. I was completely absorbed the whole time. It was a really entertaining film, a very emotive film, beautiful cinematography. The lighting was gorgeous, as you would expect from a film about art. I mean, it was visually a stunning piece. Some wonderful performances, particularly from the lead actor. And I gave this 5 stars because this is absolutely an amazing film, and I would definitely want to get this on DVD to watch again in the future. So moving on, I've actually only been watching 2 things really on streaming as well. Both of these were Netflix, and I'll start off with season 3 of Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things I've enjoyed all the way through. Season 3 was no exception. Maybe it didn't have some of the punch of particularly the first season, but it was still highly entertaining. I was still caught up in the action. Steve Harrington is absolutely my favourite character. I think his arc through these 3 series has been brilliant, and I really loved the way his character went again in this series, particularly his relationship with Robin. And it's still interesting. The end was actually really sad. I was sobbing my eyes out in the last episode. I don't want to spoiler it, so I won't tell you why, but it was, a very emotive season in many ways. And there's plenty left open for a season 4 from the way it ends. So I imagine there is going to be one. But yeah, highly entertaining. Obviously, you kind of need to have watched series 1 and 2 to understand what's going on. But if you are already a fan, definitely check out the 3rd season. And that brings me to my final piece for this video. I told you it was going to be a short one because I have been so busy doing other stuff. But I noticed on Netflix, they'd added a few more animes. Now, if you know me at all, you'll know, particularly if you've seen some of my discussions with Alina on Genre Talk, you'll know that I've not really been an anime watcher or manga reader, except for 1 or 2 exceptions. Vampire Night kind of drew me in initially because I saw it broadcast on TV here. And it was just at that time when you were eating dinner. And if we sat in front of the TV eating dinner, we'd catch a bit. And it made me want to watch it in its entirety, which I did. And I really loved it. And then I got the manga. And after that, I just kind of dipped in and out. I watched, I haven't really seen that many animes. I saw Hellsing. I've seen Matante Loki Ragnarok. And I've seen, if I remember the name correctly, Kamigami no Sobi, I think. Apologies if I'm getting that completely wrong. I'm just going from memory. So they're the only ones I've watched. And I've been thinking for a while I might like to try some more because I know Alina's really enthused about several series and tells me a lot about them and really recommends them. And I saw some of the really famous older series are now up on Netflix, like Full Metal Alchemist, the Neon Genesis Evangelion, is it? Again, I'm trying to remember the names. And Death Note. Death Note drew me first because I'd actually watched the Netflix remake film. And I know it got a lot of stick. And now I've seen the anime, I can see why it got a lot of stick. But just watching it as someone who knew nothing about the story, hadn't seen the anime, hadn't read the manga, I did find the Netflix version enjoyable. I liked the story idea. So when I saw that the anime of Death Note was up on Netflix, I decided to watch it because I thought, well, I already know I'm going to enjoy the story. And I definitely think the anime is much better than the film. I mean, partly that's because they have so much more time to spread the story out. The film did have to kind of condense it pretty substantially, really to the extent that it was only about 4 episodes worth of an anime that was 37 episodes. But I really love it. I think mostly I love it because of Light. I really adore Light as Kira. I love the idea of him. I'm really drawn to him. I think he's a fascinating character. I think of him as a bit of a Thanos in the way. I mean, we don't root for Thanos in MCU films, but at the same time, we can understand where he's coming from. And I think we can with Light as well. We can understand why he's doing what he's doing. He thinks he's doing a good thing, even though a number of people would say he isn't. And I absolutely loved this. I thought it was brilliant. I liked the characters. It's not the most sophisticated of the animations I've seen, but it's not something that really annoyed me or anything like that when some of the background was a bit simplistic. And actually, while I was watching this, I was doing a bit of research on it. I've actually ordered the manga from Book Depository, so I'm waiting for it to ship, but hopefully later in August I will get that, and I look forward to reading it and comparing that to the anime and things as well. But I noticed there was a musical. Yes, and you know me, I can't resist a musical. I did watch Vampire Night, the musical, which, though obviously not as good as the manga and anime, was still very enjoyable. So I decided to check out Death Note, the musical, particularly when I realised it was written by Frank Wildhorn, who wrote musicals such as Jekyll and Hyde, Rudolph, Scarlet Pimpernel, and the like. So I was really interested to see this. I noticed on YouTube there was footage of the Japanese production, but there was also the 19 demo songs that they recorded in English before any productions went on. So I listened to those first, and I've actually listened to those all the way through about 5 or 6 times in the last 2 days since I discovered this. I'm quite a fan. I'm learning all the lyrics. I really enjoy some of the songs, particularly Hurricane. And last night, as I finished the anime last night, my husband was out for the evening for work, so I finished off the final 6-7 episodes of the anime I had to watch, and then I watched the footage from the Japanese production. It goes for 2.5 hours, and I found it quite enjoyable. It's probably not the most sophisticated musical ever, but I think it tells the story well. I like some of the songs. It does a reasonably decent job of condensing the story. Obviously, there is a lot taken out because of the time constraints, but I think overall it was quite a fun representation as a stage musical version of the story. Definitely want to watch it again. I've roped my husband in. He doesn't mind musicals. He's not as big a fan as I am, and he has sort of half watched some of Death Note with me, so at least he knows what it's about, what's going on. And he has promised soon that when we get a suitable time period to fit in 2.5 hours of watching, we will sit down together and watch it. So I'm really excited about that. Definitely check it out. Anyway, it's on YouTube if you haven't seen it and you are a Death Note fan. I'm going to end there for now. I noticed as I said, there are some other animes on Netflix, so you may find me mentioning a few more of them in the coming months, because I would like to try and watch a few more, and particularly some of these famous older ones that they've started putting up. It seemed a good way to get into it by going for those really sort of big name ones first, and then I can see where my tastes lie, I guess. I mean, although I enjoyed like Matante, Loki, Ragnarok and Vampire Knight and that, I probably would veer more towards the more adult and overrated ones, I think. But we'll see. I'll definitely check some out and tell you what I think in the coming months. I am going to end there for now, but I'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes when I'll be doing my book wrap-up for the month. So I hope you will pop back over and join me then. Bye for now, everyone. I'll see you again, as I said, in a few minutes. See you.